Here's your wrestling news for January 27th, 2026. Your headlines for today include WWE facing major challenges keeping Royal Rumble surprises secret in Saudi Arabia, Powerhouse Hobbs' new WWE ring name revealed after AEW exit, wrestler fired after wearing controversial t-shirt, full story revealed, WWE fans slam underwhelming segment on Raw, referee throws X sign as Rey Mysterio suffers legit shoulder injury on Raw, Royal Rumble status in doubt. Real reason Finn Balor triggered DQ in CM Punk vs AJ Styles revealed. Fans spot major logic flaw in WWE's Philly Street Fight booking. Fans call out another lazy world tag title booking, and more. WWE is now less than a week away from hosting the first ever International Royal Rumble, and new visuals have provided the clearest look yet at the custom-built stadium taking shape in Riyadh's King Abdullah Financial District. On January 26, 2026, Twitter user Mohammed Wahid shared an update showing the venue nearing completion just 5 days before the event. The post included multiple photos and a video highlighting key structural elements, including the completed roof, large-scale lighting rigs, and the Royal Rumble logo now fully installed. The footage also revealed newly installed LED lighting systems and upgraded production elements, reinforcing that WWE has constructed a venue designed specifically for a major premium live event rather than a temporary setup. As preparations continue, attention has also turned to how WWE plans to manage surprise appearances, one of the Royal Rumble's defining features, while operating internationally. According to Fightful Select, WWE will be utilizing a charter flight departing in the early hours following Monday Night Raw, carrying many top stars to Saudi Arabia with sufficient time for SmackDown and Royal Rumble preparations. However, the report notes that not all talent will be traveling together. There are also plans to bring in talent on their own later in the week, including surprise names, the report stated. WWE sources told Fightful that chartered flights, restricted airstrip access, and secured hotels could actually make it easier to protect surprises this year compared to previous Rumble events. Demand for the event has also reached historic levels. According to internal company metrics, this year's Rumble has already become the most in-demand event WWE has ever produced, with pre-sales surpassing all previous records. With the venue nearly complete and travel logistics carefully planned, WWE now turns its focus to execution, both in delivering a smooth international production and in maintaining the secrecy that makes the Royal Rumble unique. Do you think WWE can successfully keep its surprises under wraps this year, or will something leak before bell time? Share your thoughts below. Powerhouse Hobbs' move to WWE is now official, and it comes with a new in-ring name. During a January 26th Q&A session, WrestleVotes confirmed that Hobbs will be known as Royce Keys in WWE, with the first name carrying personal significance as it's also the name of his son. Further supporting the rebrand, WWE filed a trademark application for Royce Keys on January 20th, 2026. While the filing remains pending, it covers a broad range of entertainment and merchandising categories, indicating clear plans for the name ahead of Hobbs' anticipated debut. Hobbs officially signed with WWE earlier this month after opting not to re-sign with AEW. His final AEW appearance aired on the January 17th episode of Collision Maximum Carnage, though his contract had expired 2 days prior. With the Royal Rumble Premium Live event scheduled for January 31st in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, attention is turned to whether Royce Keys could make his first WWE appearance during the Men's Royal Rumble match. WWE has not confirmed any debut plans, but the timing has naturally fueled discussion. What's your take on the name Royce Keys? Does it work for WWE, or should the Powerhouse identity have stayed intact? Share your thoughts below. Real Canadian Wrestling has issued a public apology and terminated a wrestler following a controversial incident at a recent event in Edmonton, Alberta. The situation stemmed from an entrance in which an unnamed wrestler appeared wearing gear resembling a U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement or ICE uniform. The visual immediately drew backlash from fans, particularly given the broader real-world context surrounding immigration enforcement and recent events in the United States. The decision appeared to be an attempt to generate heel heat, but the reaction was swift. Fellow wrestler Kato the Luchador publicly condemned the entrance on social media shortly after the show, linking the imagery to real-world harm and trauma associated with immigration enforcement. In response, Real Canadian Wrestling released an official statement distancing the promotion from the act. According to RCW, the portrayal was not approved by management and only became known to officials after the wrestler had already entered the ring. The company apologized to fans and anyone affected by the incident, emphasized that it does not support or endorse ICE or its actions, and confirmed that the wrestler involved had been dismissed effective immediately. Despite the apology, questions have been raised regarding the promotion's claim that it was unaware of the planned entrance. Reports from those in attendance noted that the wrestler made his entrance to the song Ice Ice Baby, a choice that typically requires prior coordination with production. That detail has led some observers to question how the gimmick went unnoticed before the performer appeared on stage. The incident has since reignited broader discussion within the wrestling community about creative boundaries and the use of real-world trauma for heat, particularly when such portrayals intersect with sensitive political and social issues. Should wrestling promotions enforce stricter oversight when it comes to character presentation, or is the responsibility better placed on individual performers? Share your thoughts below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. AJ Styles opened last night's Raw, and there was an unmistakable sense that this could potentially be his final appearance on the Red brand. WWE treated the moment with importance, giving Styles the spotlight to address Gunther and confidently state that he intends to defeat him, arguing that Gunther is not, in his words, phenomenal. That moment was quickly elevated when CM Punk interrupted, setting the stage for a segment the crowd was fully invested in. A back and forth ensued on the mic, with the Phenomenal One taking exception to the idea that the best in the world didn't think he could beat Gunther, leading to a challenge for a match on tonight's show. Punk insisted on putting the World Heavyweight Championship on the line, and the match was agreed to by both competitors to close out the segment. On paper, it felt like a WrestleMania main event dropped into Monday Night Raw. Earlier in the show, a sit-down interview with Michael Cole and Gunther added more context to the night. Gunther explained his mindset, saying he's done with veterans chasing one final moment. He referenced Goldberg and John Cena as examples, framing himself as the one who ends those pursuits rather than enabling them. That only fueled concern that Styles could be next. The main event between Styles and Punk delivered exactly what was expected, a hard-hitting, high-level championship match. There were moments where it genuinely looked like Styles might pull off one more title win. Instead, the bout ended in chaos when Finn Balor interfered, attacking Punk and forcing a no contest. Balor's interference caught many fans off guard, particularly after the emotional exchange between Balor and Punk on Raw the previous week, which had led some to believe a babyface turn could be coming. Instead, Balor's actions told a different story. Balor's actions were rooted in frustration after Punk earlier told him to leave Judgment Day, rediscover himself, win the Royal Rumble, and face him at WrestleMania. Balor attempted to do things the right way by approaching Adam Pearce, only to be shut down. That rejection pushed Balor over the edge. By taking matters into his own hands, he made a statement, but also potentially cost AJ Styles his last chance at another World Championship run. Where do you think WWE is headed with Finn Balor from here? Should he be reinstated in the Royal Rumble, or does this set up a direct confrontation with AJ Styles after costing him a title opportunity? Share your thoughts below. Another Oba Femi vignette aired tonight, but this one came with a notable twist. As the segment closed, the Royal Rumble logo flashed on the screen, all but confirming that Oba Femi is heading to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble. WWE clearly sees Oba as a major presence on one of the biggest stages of the year, and if he enters the Rumble, he is going to be a problem for everyone involved. His presentation alone suggests dominance, and the idea of him tearing through a field full of established stars feels very real. Paul Heyman opened his segment with his usual grandiose introductions for every member of the Vision before calling out Raw General Manager Adam Pearce for a face-to-face confrontation. Heyman accused Pearce of crossing the line last week by putting his hands on Bron Breakker and allegedly planting brass knuckles for Rey Mysterio to use. Pearce admitted he took things too far and revealed that Breakker's suspension had officially been lifted. He then confirmed that Breakker, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory are all entered into the Royal Rumble this Saturday. Before leaving, Pearce added one more wrinkle by announcing that Austin Theory would face Rey Mysterio immediately. The match was competitive, with neither man able to establish long-term control. With the Vision, along with Penta and Dragon Lee stationed at ringside, interference became a constant factor. Late chaos allowed Theory to capitalize, hit a stomp, and score the win. Afterward, the Vision laid out the babyfaces to stand tall. Earlier backstage, the Vision publicly agreed that Breakker should win the Royal Rumble, but that unity raises questions. If Theory or Logan Paul has a chance to eliminate Breakker, will loyalty hold? Notably, there was still no clarification on who called Pearce last week, a mystery WWE may be leaving deliberately open-ended. Do you think the Vision will truly stay united in the Royal Rumble, or is betrayal inevitable? Although Rey Mysterio was able to finish the match, his absence from the post-match brawl immediately raised concern. As the Vision attacked the luchadors, Bron Breakker appeared ready to spear Mysterio, but the camera cut away. When the move was shown moments later, it was Penta who took the spear, followed by a tsunami from Bronson Reed. The reason became clear in the closing moments. After taking Austin Theory's stomp, Mysterio was seen clutching his right shoulder. Once the pinfall was counted, referee Rod Zapata quickly stepped between Mysterio and the Vision, physically stopping further contact and signaling the X to the back, an indication of a legitimate injury. Medical personnel escorted Mysterio backstage immediately. According to Body Slam's Corey Hayes, Mysterio suffered a real shoulder injury during the match. This is especially concerning given his recent return from a groin injury in November. Mysterio is still advertised for the Royal Rumble on January 31st in Riyadh, but his status is now in question. After 3 weeks of inactivity surrounding the World Tag Team Championships to start 2026, the Usos finally learned that Alpha Academy would be their first challengers following a fatal four-way on Raw. The issue, however, is credibility. Outside of the New Day, none of the teams involved have done much recently to justify a title opportunity. The Creed brothers, Alpha Academy, and Los Americanos have not been picking up meaningful wins and largely feel like teams that simply exist on the Raw roster. The fact that Penta and Rey Mysterio weren't added only highlights how little focus the division has received. That lack of planning becomes even more noticeable when factoring in Jimmy Uso's absence. If Jimmy had personal time scheduled, WWE could have delayed putting the titles on the Usos. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee could have dropped the belts to another team, allowing the Usos to reclaim them once Jimmy returned. Instead, Jey Uso has appeared alone for the third straight week as a reigning champion. While personal reasons are understandable, it feels like another case of poor foresight affecting a WWE championship scene. Raw also featured a 6-woman tag team match with the women of the Judgment Day facing a champion-heavy lineup. Women's Tag Team Champions Io Sky and Rhea Ripley teamed with Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer, who made her in-ring return. The match was solid overall, though it did not quite reach the level of the Women's Tag Team title bout from Saturday night's main event. The champions picked up the win, with Rhea Ripley pinning Roxanne Perez. However, the bigger takeaway came from Vaquer's condition. Despite returning to action, she was clearly favoring her ankle. While she initially pushed through, a slip on the ropes followed by a recovery crossbody on the outside seemed to aggravate it further. Vaquer was later seen limping and holding her ankle near the announce table, raising concerns about her immediate in-ring future. Backstage, Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez brawled until they were pulled apart. Things escalated backstage when Rodriguez demanded a title shot. Vaquer responded by offering it, and Adam Pearce made it official: Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Championship next week in a Philadelphia street fight. The timing is questionable, especially with the Royal Rumble looming, adding an unnecessary layer of chaos to the title picture. The booking logic here is where things start to fall apart. If Raquel Rodriguez is a legitimate Royal Rumble contender this Saturday, announcing a Women's World Championship match before the Rumble creates unnecessary confusion. If Raquel were to win the Royal Rumble and then go on to capture the title on Raw the following week, WWE would immediately create a booking dilemma. The value of the Royal Rumble victory becomes unclear in that scenario. Would she then pivot to the other Women's Championship and challenge Jade Cargill at WrestleMania? This is exactly the kind of match announcement that could have waited until after Saturday, allowing WWE to preserve flexibility and keep the championship picture clean instead of creating a potential contradiction before it even plays out. What's your take on the Women's World title match next week? Do you believe that we'll see a title change? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Becky Lynch has officially declared her entry in the Women's Royal Rumble match. The current Women's Intercontinental Champion made this announcement in a backstage segment. This development subtly implies that AJ Lee is coming back in the upcoming Premium Live event. Lee might eliminate the man from the traditional Rumble match, setting the stage for a mid-card championship at WWE WrestleMania 42. Javon Evans confirmed tonight that he's been medically cleared, assuring fans that last week's shoulder scare was nothing serious. With that concern put to rest, Evans followed up with a major announcement, officially declaring himself for this year's Royal Rumble match. A pre-tape promo from Natalya aired, with the veteran delivering a sharp message aimed directly at Maxxine Dupri. Natalya said Dupri had disappointed her and failed to live up to her expectations, making it clear that she plans to take Dupri out first. From there, Natalya warned that she is coming for everything, with Becky Lynch firmly in her sights as well. She closed the promo with a clear statement of intent, declaring, "Natalya elevates, but Natty decimates," signaling a more ruthless edge as she looks to reassert herself in the division. That wraps up this week's episode of Raw. How did you feel about the show overall, and which match or segment stood out to you the most? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.